This video is being represented by table number 11. It is regarding the thoracoabdominal diaphragm. Firstly, starting with its origin and insertion, it takes origin from three sources, that is sternal source, that is behind the xiphoid process of the sternum by two fleshy fibers, and second is from the costal source, that is ribs, that is lower sixth ribs. From its inner aspect it takes origin, and the third one is lumbar source, that is it takes on the right side, it takes origin from L1, L2 and L3, whereas on the right side it takes origin from L1 and L2. This is because on the right side there is heavy right lobe of lung. That is the reason here there is more extensive origin. Coming to insertion, all these fibers ascend up and form a central tendon and get inserted over there.
This is continuation of video about surfaces. This is diaphragm has two surfaces, inferior surface and superior surface. Superior surface is related to heart, both side lungs. Inferior surface is related to right side liver, left side stomach and transverse colon and suprarenal glands, and relations over nerve supply of diaphragm. Central tendon of the diaphragm is supplied by phrenic nerves, and the left half is supplied by left phrenic nerve and right half is supplied by right phrenic nerve, and the peripheral muscular part of diaphragm is supplied by lower six thoracic nerves.
Now coming to the arterial supply of the diaphragm, the diaphragm is supplied by superior phrenic artery, which is a branch of thoracic aorta, and inferior epigastric is a branch of abdominal aorta. Then superior epigastric, musculophrenic and pericardiophonic, all three are the branches from internal thoracic artery, and it is also supplied by lower 5 intercostal and subcostal arteries.
Lymph from diaphragm is drained into anterior diaphragmatic lymph nodes situated behind the xiphoid process, posterior diaphragmatic lymph nodes situated near the aortic orifice, right lateral diaphragmatic nodes near the caval opening, left lateral diaphragmatic nodes near the esophageal opening.
Action of diaphragm. It is the principal muscle of respiration. Mainly it contracts, it descends and increases the vertical diameter of the thoracic cavity. It is also called muscle of abdominal straining, which helps in during vomiting, parturition, and also during hiccups. It helps in weight lifting, where the vertebral column is supported by the which is prevented by the flexion of the diaphragm. It also acts as thoracomuscular pump. The fibers of the right crus of diaphragm also helps the sphincter of esophagus over the esophageal opening.
The applied aspects of diaphragm are: first is hiccups, that is due to irritation in diaphragm or phrenic nerve, which causes spasmodic contraction of diaphragm. And second is Stepford pain in shoulder, that is because supraclavicular and phrenic nerve have the same root values, that is C3, C4 and C5. Next is unilateral paralysis of diaphragm, where we can see paradoxial movements. And next is eventration. It is a congenital condition where on the left side it is represented by only fibrous membrane containing a few scattered muscle fibers. And next is diaphragmatic hernia. There are two types, congenital and acquired. Congenital has four types: retrosternal, posterolateral, central and posterior hernia. And in acquired hernia we have traumatic and hiatal hernia. Traumatic is due to bullet injuries in the diaphragm, and hiatal hernia has two: congenital hiatal hernia and acquired hiatal hernia. Congenital hiatal hernia is due to persistence of embryonic peritoneal process in the posterior mediastinum. It is therefore called rolling type of hernia. And the acquired hiatal hernia is sliding type of hernia. This is the commonest type of hernia, and it is due to weakness in phrenicoesophageal membrane.